I have wandered along the bristly brambles, snagging threads across the thorns that hedge my way. If perchance I find the place where I might amble, where the bees and honey trees have called my name, I'll sing, come all ye stitchers, come, while away the time. Fetch the needle and the thread, see what ye may find. My dreams of sewing seams had been fading, and my goals of mending holes had all but died, till the moment the bewitching stitching maiden recommended that I cast my fears aside. She sang, come all ye stitchers, come, while away the time. Fetch the needle and the thread, see what ye may find. So if you find you're out of spirits, out of money, and you're walking down the dusty road alone, come with me to the realm of hope and honey. In the land of milk and thread, you'll find a home. We'll sing, come all ye stitchers, come, while away the time. Fetch the needle and the thread, see what ye may find. Come all ye stitchers, come, while away the time. Fetch the needle and the thread, see what ye may find. Thread milk.
Hi, Flosstube. So we're back, and for those of you who are new to the channel, I am Lori Wilson of threadmilkdesign, and I have another visitor today. Amy is in the house. Yay! Finally, I know I've told you guys that Amy was going to come and show her goods, and we had a collaboration last year that we actually took to market this year, and so she's here to show it. And I get a friend to come visit today. That's the best part. So we're going to have some stitchy time later and just enjoy hanging out too.
Yep.
Which is the best part. So what's really cool about this year is, or I should say just for us in general, is that we both got to go to market. We were, Amy, I should say, was on the waiting list to get in with me as a share, like a room share. And then she got in. I wasn't going to go because we had moved and I just wasn't feeling it. And so she had other people come in to help her. And then when she did get in and I was doing a little better, I was like, maybe I guess I'll call Megan and see if I can get on the waiting list. So I did. And then people were still dropping out because COVID was happening again.
Yeah.
And I was able to get in too. So my husband went with me and helped me. You had who all came with you?
I had 2 daughters and a friend that we were going to go as buyers, but then we got in as exhibitors and it was super fun. We're so glad. Yeah.
I mean, the shopping is really fun, which we as exhibitors don't really get to shop until Sunday, maybe a little bit on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
When, the crowds die down a little bit Saturday and the lines outside of Blackbird and With Thy Needle die down, that we can get out of our rooms.
It's so fun to watch, though.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah.
I remember it was like, your doors open at 9 o'clock, and we got up like around 7 and started getting ready because you're wasted Saturday morning if you were open Friday night. And our biggest night was Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Was yours too? Friday night.
It was good. Yeah, I'm so glad we did Friday night.
Yeah, I think the retail shops were really happy.
Mm-hmm.
We were open then too. So yeah, we were wasted. We got up at 7 and we could hear the crowd outside our room because I was right next to Blackbird. You were across the hall and next to. Did you notice that? Mm-hmm. The lines and everybody's out there.
Apparently, usually the line goes down in front of my room. Because of Shepherd's Bush.
Oh, that's right.
So usually the line goes in front of where I was, But Shepherd's Bush wasn't there this year, so.
Oh, so, but I was just amazed that they had to get up and get in line like 2 hours early.
Yeah.
Phew.
For those really popular people.
Yeah. That have a ton of charts and they got to get there and pick up their stuff. So.
Beautiful stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my word. Best thing about Market. What was like your favorite thing? Okay, maybe about the shopping part. What was your favorite thing?
I'm not going to talk about the shopping part.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about meeting your customers,
Shop
owners.
That was my next favorite.
Was it?
Yes, thing to say.
Because that's what I love to see other people. I used to own a quilt shop.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know shop owners, but stitching shop owners are awesome. They're just great, just like quilt shop owners. And it was just fun to meet them. And they're picking out stuff that they love for you guys, you know. And so that was super fun.
Yeah.
To just meet the shop owners and, see what they're liking and what they're not liking and to hear their feedback. It was fun.
And it was interesting, too, because I feel like certain shops have certain taste based on their customers and, like, what things that they know will sell to their customers. And some have a big list of shoppers that want just certain tastes, for sure.
Yeah.
So, my favorite thing about Market was meeting everyone.
Yeah.
And hanging out with Deb and Liz. That was really fun.
Yeah, they're awesome.
From Country Stitchers. Everybody was so nice. I got to meet Susie Reno. Well, Susie Reiner, but I know her Flosstube name is Susie Reno. She is a kick in the pants if you want some good entertainment for stitchy time. She's one of my favorites. Anyway, that was so fun.
And the atmosphere at the show was cool too. Because it's just so fun to look out there and see people's banners that hanging over the banister and their shop names and all that stuff. And it was just, there's really an excitement there. They're excited about new stuff. So
yes, they are.
Fun.
Yeah, it was so fun. Definitely want to go next year. You too?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll end up there. So as far as shopping goes, though, my favorite thing was seeing in real life finishes.
Yes.
Because it's just like everybody says on Flosstube. You can buy a pattern, you can see the picture on the front of the pattern, but there's nothing like the real thing.
No.
And so I felt like I was in a museum the whole time.
And I liked it when they did a reproduction.
Yeah.
And here was the old one, and here's my take on it. I loved that.
Yeah.
That was super fun.
And seeing the actual stitches. And I swear everything looked like it was on 40 count, even though it said it was on 36. Everything just looked like, oh, it's so tiny, it's so cute. And it was just, they are all works of art.
Yeah.
And I do think Market's like a museum display because it's just all beautiful artwork.
Yes.
Oh,
for sure. Lots of love.
Yes. Yeah. I feel so blessed, really.
Yeah.
That we got to go. And visit and meet shop owners that I've only heard about on Flosstube. You know, your local LNS. We got to meet them.
Yeah.
That was pure joy. Okay, so moving on. What did Amy and I take to Market as our exclusives? I didn't do an exclusive, but I did have 6 new stick charts. And then we both had our collaboration.
Yeah.
That was Amy's artistry and idea from retreat last October. So Amy does retreats. Go to her website under thegardenmoon.com and go to her retreats tab, and you can,
right now they're not even up to date.
There's nothing update yet.
No,
so just
but they're really cool.
Yeah, they are so cool and they're so fun. So she just had a quilt one right after Market. You had to come home and have retreat ready for your quilt.
We had 160 people come. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah.
And I didn't get to go because I could not.
Too close.
Oh, it was too close. We got home the day it started. From our 1 month gone after Market. And that was because my husband had to go to work for 2 weeks in Louisiana. So it was like a round trip we made over a month. And we visited our daughter in Houston on the way home. So I had to miss out this year. makes me sad because it's super fun.
That's okay. But the hand stitching retreat is funner, I think. Well, I think so. It's just different fun.
It is, because there's about, what, 60, 70?
Yeah, there's
women.
less people, but the main thing is that we kind of outlaw and discourage people to bring their sewing machines. And so it's all just hand stitching, and we do like knitting skills, or we do applique, or we do other things other than other than quilting
Or cross stitch.
Yeah,
It's
so
all the handwork.
yeah, it's just hand stitching. It's called Needles and Knots, and it's pretty fun.
Yeah, so go look for that one.
Sign-ups we'll start posting stuff in the summer, first of the summer.
Okay, perfect.
For Needles and Knots.
And I will be there.
Yeah.
That's definitely
You're already teaching.
Definite. I am.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh,
You told me 2 ideas
classes
that you wanted to do.
That's right. I had a couple ideas. Okay, it's just a blast. I love that one. I love it too because it's quiet. There's no sewing machines, and you get to talk and sit around and just stitch.
Yeah.
When you're not doing class, and you don't.
And
have
the
to
room
sign
where
up
we
for
have it
class.
has great light, natural
Yes.
light, and so it's just fun.
Mhm.
You don't even have to like crouch down behind a lamp.
You don't even have to bring your lamp
Mm-mm.
unless you want to be there at stitch at night.
Midnight.
When you
Yeah.
till midnight or whatever. And it's pretty close to us. I mean, to me, up here around the mountains. It's held in Brigham City, Utah, which is a very cute, quaint
Small town.
place. And Village Dry Goods quilt shops right there. And then usually people make a trek up to Shepherd's Bush. Yeah, depends.
Yep.
While you're up there.
Shepherd's Bush is what, half hour?
Probably from
Maybe.
there.
Yeah.
20, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Lots of fun.
delightfulness. So Amy's the bomb on the retreat thing. She's been doing it for years. She always has the coolest gifts. Oh, it's just worth it. Every bit. So the last handwork retreat, let's just segue that into this
into the
awesome
collaboration.
giveaway.
Yeah.
Yes. So show them yours first.
Okay.
Because this is what Amy
All right.
started with.
So this is where the idea came from. So I have a husband who is the best, and he's an awesome woodworker. And so if I think it up, he will make it. So that's where these boxes came from. So this is a nice little toolbox looking thing, and it has a lift out tray, and then the big cave for you to store your stuff in.
You could put a whole cross stitch project in
Yeah.
because you can fold up your linen and have all the threads.
They're just cute. And then you can put your cute little doodads up here that you like. And anyway, so I drew the design, and then Lori, I asked her to put it into cross stitch. So people could pick. Before the retreat started, I emailed everyone and I said, if you could choose, what would you choose, cross stitch or wool applique? And so mine is wool applique, and hers is cross stitch. And so it's the same design, and she just used my artwork and did the cross stitch design because I don't know how to do that. So anyway, it was so fun. And so every person who came to the retreat got this as one of their gifts. And so anyway, we decorated it pretty similar, a little bit different.
Got this cute ribbon.
Yeah, this ribbon is awesome. Kind of linen-y looking.
And I put in the chart. You did yours too, didn't you? Like suggestions for where to get ribbon.
I did not.
Okay.
No.
That you could, maybe I'll put it in the drop down box too for today's
awesome.
video. But like the polka dot and the lace and the little green sprigs all came from a place called Knot and Spool in Salt Lake.
Oh, that's where the green sprig came from? Because, see, I just went to Hobby Lobby, and this was a Christmas ornament, and I ripped the mushrooms out of it. And
Sandy,
I like these mushrooms.
Our friend Sandy, who stitched this, just had these in her, bin of stuff. And she got it years ago, so we have no idea where to get those.
They're kind of metallic-y looking. They're awesome.
Like mercury glass looking.
Yeah.
But if you are ever in Salt Lake or you come for the Shepherd's Bush retreat, go to Knot and Spool.
Yeah, it's
While
a
you're
great
here.
shop.
Unbelievable amounts of ribbon, and this comes in several colors. I think when I went there I got orange and brown,
Yellow.
yellow. Yeah, they had a mustard. Oh my gosh.
The only one that was missing was blue, and I missed the blue. I would have gotten blue. But,
so let's hold them up one more time.
Okay.
There's one last. You can take a screenshot of it. There's us.
Peeking through.
Poking out. Okay, and talk about this for a second, because I'm kind of dying over this.
Okay.
I hadn't seen
I'm going to
this.
try and find these. This is actually a jewelry finding that I think that they pour like resin in there, and they'll put little dried flowers or something. Anyway, it's a sterling silver little jewelry finding, and then I just crammed a wool ball in it and glued it. And so you can use that for a little pincushion. And I just thought it looked cute in the red hanging over this.
I want one. So if
I
you
will
want
I will look into more of that.
Yeah, and put in your comments below if you are interested in that.
Yeah, because we can let you know where to get that.
Yeah, and it'll give her an idea of like maybe she should mass produce them with the wool ball and sell them
because they're super cute.
Yeah, well, and it's cute with the ribbon on it. Like I would sell that whole as a package.
Yep.
Just to give a real quick credit too to Lady Dot Creates, Lois. This is one of her trims. I think it's moss.
Yeah, and I love that, but I didn't have any little pom-poms.
So Amy
and
did.
so I appliqued mine onto a piece of wool that I pinked the edge, so that shows that.
Perfect. Did you do that with the rotary cutter?
I did, and I did it after this was appliqued onto it. And I sat a ruler kind of straight up on this against the linen, so and like then I cut so that it was just a little tiny border.
Smart.
So that it was straight.
Okay.
And then how did you attach your box, your stitching onto your box? I used command strips.
That's what this is too.
Okay.
Yeah, Sandy. So this is Sandy's finished in her box. So she wanted to do command strips so she could take it off.
Yeah.
So
I think if I really was not going to like haul this off to market and all that kind of stuff, I think I would permanently glue it.
I'm going to permanently do mine.
Yeah, because then it's wood glue. I love this project.
Yeah.
So.
I want to keep it. It's memorable too. It's part of retreat. I want to keep it. Yeah, just like it is.
Yeah. And the name of this is Wander With Me.
Yes.
And you can get the cross stitch patterns from Lori, and you can get the stitching patterns from me.
Yep. And it is so cute.
And I love it in both.
Yeah. And bravo, Amy. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, so let's do one quick little segue too, because we'll might bring it up here in a minute. See the fluff that is used on the bunny's tail right here? This one is Whisper. It says on the pattern, it's a Whisper product. And what is yours? Is yours Whisper?
Mine's Whisper.
So see how Amy's is a little fluffier. This one doesn't have as much fluff. I need to familiarize myself with.
So Sandy cross-stitched using that. I did a turkey work stitch,
which I need to
and then I clipped it. And so I'm all about lots of different stitches. And so on mine, yeah, like this stem right here is a whipped chain stitch. Okay. And then these are bullions across the bee. And so I like to do some stitches.
I love that. Makes it super interesting.
Yeah, it adds a lot of texture.
So much. So cute.
But yeah, Whisper thread is really fun to add some little fluff.
Okay, so when we were at market, someone came and told us, you've got to go to Sulky, the Sulky shop, because they have a product that can behave or become like these Whisper fluff. So if you want to try both, I highly recommend it. But the product, who was it that told us to go to Sulky?
You told me. I don't know who told you.
You told me.
I don't know.
We met so many people, and it kind of all, I got home and I was like, was that a dream? Because we were in this whole different place.
Did that really happen?
Did that really happen? It did. So I can't remember right now, and I feel so bad I can't remember. But this is the product they said you've got to go look at this and get some and try it. It's called Sulky 12 weight, which is what the cotton petites or the silk weight, cotton 12 weight that comes on a spool that a lot of us use for cross stitching because it's thicker and you can use it on 32 count and it feels fills it up a little more. So this is the same weight, but it's called acrylic. Oh my word. I'm gonna need my glasses on. Filane? Or filane? Filane. Acrylic filane.
Yeah.
So when you stitch with this, so yeah, hold that one up.
Okay.
When you stitch with it, you can take this brush, which we also got from Sulky, and brush over the top of your stitching. And the more you brush, the more pile you're going to get, the fluffier it'll get. They had some that had like some serious like 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch.
It almost looked like fur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like fur. So, new item from Sulky that we're going to try. So I might, because my cross stitch finish, it's Sandy's, it's not mine. It's just the one we've used for all the shows
display
and displays. I got to give that back to her, and I'm going to finish mine. I think I decided to do it on 40 count flax, just to see what it would look like. More wood's going to show. Maybe I can do a thicker
finish.
Yeah, some sort of.
You could do
lace,
a layer finish too,
right? It could add a little more. So I'm going to try this on the bunny tail, this white one right there, and do the brush on it. See how I like it.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I'll let you know. That means I have to stitch
You have
and
to
finish
stitch.
a project.
You can do it.
Other than the stuff I should be stitching. Oh my gosh. Okay, with that, thank you for asking me to
It
do
was
the
super
cross
fun.
stitch. It was.
I thought it was fun to work together.
It was.
So,
Well,
since I don't cross stitch.
Yeah.
I mean, I love to cross stitch, and someday I'm going to be a cross stitcher.
Oh, you are.
But-
I've seen you cross stitch. I just pulled my hair funny. Okay. But yeah, it was really fun. And Amy and I actually go way back because
She taught at my quilt store years and years ago.
a long time ago. And I used to go to Joy's American Quilting before Amy bought it. So that's in the old building way long ago.
I was there 3 years, and then I moved to another building.
To the big store. And she doesn't own it anymore. Was that, I mean, it's just a chapter, right, of your life.
It is. It's just a chapter, and I miss the people. I just miss the people. But owning a store, it's kind of a headache sometimes, but
it's a lot of work.
yeah, I miss it. I do. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
And your husband's so nice, too. He is so friendly and so nice, and he seemed like he was always there helping out. So, little partnership.
Well, your husband is the same way.
He
got good guys.
Yeah. We lucked out. Oh. And that I blame my mother-in-law for. She was quite the matchmaker.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that goes back to that.
Not my mother-in-law.
You just have to pick, you just have to pick a nice person, right? Just like you pick your friends.
Yeah.
Hang with nice people. That's one thing I've found about people who do handwork and craft seem to be just fun. They're nice.
Yep.
We love our friends.
Creativity makes you nice.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move back into market and what else we brought to show. I'm going to move clear the table here.
All right.
I didn't even make notes. Let's get that out of here. All right, so let's show.
You want to show something?
Let's show your wood products. These wood products are adorable.
I only brought a couple, but they're kind of fun. So all of these are on my website, but these are just thread holders. I should put it behind something.
So cute.
So
to get it
show.
to focus.
Yeah, but anyway, that's all right. You can see them.
Sometimes I just hold
Anyway,
them.
there's like 7 different little designs of thread holders, and they're super cute little designs. I love bees, and so a lot of them have bees, and I like little critters and birds and that kind of stuff.
And that's all Amy's.
And that's kind of my style. Yeah.
You drew all of those designs.
Yeah. And then I did some little phone stands, and so when you're watching your Flosstube videos, you can put your phone on here and you can watch.
You can
turn it the other way if you want. My screen is nice and cracked. Wow.
Or your screensaver.
my screen front.
Yes. We all have
And
those.
then we cut these little holes so that you can, if you run out of battery, you can charge at the same time and still hold it. And then we designed it so that it'll take, it can hold a pretty big foam. It can hold a pretty big foam because there's a big base. So anyway, we have 2 phone stands that are stitchy related. This one says, "Stitch small things with great love." And then this one says, "Call me friend if you can play. I'll be stitching the day away." And so those are just kind of fun little trinkets for a stitcher.
Cute. I need one of those.
Yeah.
I will be.
And then we have needle nannies and we have thread drops.
Yes.
I didn't bring my thread drops.
Oh,
I should have brought those.
Because they're cute.
Oh, you know what? I might have some downstairs in your bag, in my bag.
Ooh, go grab them.
Okay,
I think
I
she
will.
should show them.
Okay,
because
I'll go
they're
grab them. You show
adorable.
something while I'm gone.
Okay, I'll do my For the Bowls. So I started designing these For the Bowl series last year. I don't think I've ever shown them on a Flosstube video. And I did get one done specifically for market, and that was the Bunny Bungalow. And I'll try to get in nice and close so you can actually see the image. And because it was spring, it was just kind of perfect timing. You can see also, which I didn't give credit for in the pattern, I've got to be better at that. But my trims that I've been using are either Dames of the Needle or Lois. I like Lois's a lot because they're cotton. But I love Dames of the Needle too. Just depends on how you want to use those. So yeah, her chenilles are my favorite. That rickrack is definitely Dames of the Needle. And it's the fat rickrack, and then I tacked it down with a cross, like an X stitch. So it's time to do another one of those. I'll be doing a patriotic version very soon. And the others that I had so far were, I'll just kind of go in order of what's coming up. This is Halloween. This was my first one. I've noticed my first patterns are in a series are a little simpler, and then sometimes I get a little more.
Then the creativity
creative.
starts coming.
Yeah, so you add a little more.
They're so cute though. Halloween is so basic and cute.
Yeah. So my idea on this was like I love salt boxes. I always have the salt box home in particular. So they all have one pillow that has a salt box, and it's just the side view with the house and a few windows, but they have some sort of like kind of alliteration going on. So this is, what did I put on this one? Haunted Halloween House. And the Thanksgiving version is Turkey Tavern. And I kind of think that's my favorite pillow right there. My friend Michelle Smith has stitched two of them for me. I stitched one, and Sandy is stitching some now for me. This one's Cozy Christmas Cottage. You learn a lot when you take your photos, right, for your patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Because some are awesome. Some, you just kind of blew it on. This one, I blew it on. And I want to redo it, but for now, it's got the quilt in the background, but the quilt distracts from the actual pillows. This has 6 little patterns in it, 3 snowflakes, and I just did extras because it was Christmas time. So it's kind of a bonus pattern for the same price as the others. Feather tree. Speaking of feather trees, I met the wonderful ladies, Pat and Ann, at Dying to Stitch. They are so fun.
Yeah, they're very fun.
I love y'all. I love y'all. It was so fun. But they came to get Statehood Splendor series, which are all the 50 states that I'm doing. I did take 6 new ones to market, but Pat came up with the idea that they're going to do, I think it's a feather tree, like a wood feather tree. Great big one. I don't know if they're going to display it in their window, but Pat at Unlimited Stitches is doing all 50 states too, so you can get the charts there when you go, and they're going to do their own display. But Pat's going to do a feather tree and then hang all the 50 states on one tree. I know. I'm dying for
I
them
love
to
feather
send me a
trees.
picture. I do too. They're just classic, old, good stuff. So the 6 newest states that I took to market, which I have posted about them on Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram or Facebook, the links are on my website. I think the bottom of the page, they might be at the top. Do I know?
I don't know.
Do I know my website? I don't know. My husband might be able to tell you. But the newest 6 states, and yes, 6 more will be released in about a week. Maybe I'll add that at the end of this video. I don't know when the video is going to get all processed, but there's Virginia. And just to clarify one more time, this number up here is the release number, not the statehood number. So it's not the number when it became a state. This is that number right here that's stitched into the pillow. I did this because I wasn't going to release them in alphabetical order or in that number, because otherwise you'd just be stitching. All the East Coast stitchers would get theirs first, and then everybody West Coast would have to wait. So I mixed it together based on my history, where I'm from, and the first state. So we went first.
That's a good idea.
So that's what this number is. Also, I thought it would be easier for shops to keep track, and they can look at that number and see, have I got 1 through 50 easily, and know which one on the website to go back and order when they need it. Anyway, yes, those are the Blue Ridge Mountains. I should take this out of the plastic. I said to one of my kids, or does it look like a big blue blob? I don't know. That's one reason I did not put an Idaho or a potato on the Idaho chart. How do you,
that could be bad.
make a potato this big? Yeah, some things are kind of hard to design, but those 3 colors of blue, everyone who was from Virginia around that area said they absolutely are the Blue Ridge Mountains, so I'm hopeful. And yes, it was one of the 13 colonies. This is for William and Mary, which is the college there, which I believe is, well, I should have taken these out of the plastic so I could give you the actual facts, but it's, I believe, the oldest school next to either Yale or Harvard. And I've been there. It's beautiful. It is in Colonial Williamsburg, Virginia. So, fun facts about that. Oh, and then that number is the year it became a state, once again. And it's 2-digit postal code. Okay, real quick. Indiana, number 21. 1816 is its year. It is named, Indiana is named after the huge, I guess there was just a lot of Native Americans at the time. And so it is named after the Native American people, which traditionally were called Indians. So Indiana, and Indianapolis, its capital, were both named after them, which I think is pretty
cool.
attributive, right, to the people from this land. So these are a couple of Native American symbols, the arrow, of course, and the teepees, and it talks about these in the inside. This is the tulip tree. That's their state tree. And of course, when we're doing cross stitch or sampler looking trees, you just make you design some branches with tulips on it. But that actually is what they look like when they bloom in the spring. They just look like dead trees with these beautiful tulips on them. Okay, New York was so fun. So, New York is known for its Dutch settlement that was there. You know, the people from the Dutch people were there way before 1788, and they were actually exiled by the British soldiers and government way back then, when all the, struggle for independence was going on. So they had to leave New York, but a lot of the architecture was still there, and then also duplicated throughout the eastern states. So when you see a house with this type roof, that's Dutch architecture. That is a little wooden shoe right there. I hope that is clear. Their state bird is, I can't remember. It's one of the bluebirds. And of course, they're one of the original 13. Okay. Ohio. When I got to market, I was so excited to get this one done because Stephanie from Just Keep Stitching was anxious for Ohio to come out, and because that's her home state. This was really fun. I loved learning the history. They're all fun, but this one in particular. When I got to market, though, and I was showing someone this, I got real close and comfortable with my picture and realized I missed a stitch. Can you see it? And I need to correct it on my charts, but the chart's correct. So while Amy's looking, I'll tell you about it. This is the red carnation. It's their state flower. It is their state flower because one of the U.S. presidents that was shot, which one was it? Way back when. He always wore a red carnation in his lapel, and he was from Ohio. So that's their state flower. They are one of 5 states whose motto is still has the word God in it, and theirs is with God. I believe anything is possible. So attributing Neil Armstrong, who landed on the moon, and the Wright brothers, they're both from Ohio. So I think that pretty much encompasses their state motto.
That's cool.
His aviation's quite the advanced technology, but miracle. So that was really fun. But yeah,
super interesting.
There's the missing stitch right there in the propeller.
Oh yeah.
I fixed the pillow. The download PDF has the right picture. I just realized I forgot to fix the chart. The chart's correct. So you won't miss it like I do. Or did. Okay, so North Carolina is the 24th state. It is one of the 13 original colonies also. Their state flower is the dogwood, or their tree is the dogwood. And dogwoods are either white with that bright green center, or they have variations of pink in the petals. So sometimes you do a chart and you're like, I don't know if I hit the nail on that one, but that's my dogwood. But it was really fun learning about North Carolina too. Their motto is, it is better to be rather than seem, which I think is a really good something to follow. It's kind of like, what's the other saying? I don't know, it just falls along with like being a hypocrite, right? Like, are you going to say something and you are actually going to do it? So props to North Carolina. It's, we should be something rather than seem something. So your actions are what are important. Okay, Kentucky. Oh, this one was fun. Mostly because I have a little bit of history with Kentucky. My son went to Kentucky for 2 years and served his church there. He also plays the mandolin and learned bluegrass, which is a style of music which the founder of bluegrass style, Bill Moore, I think is his name. I'm going to get his first name wrong. Anyway, born in Kentucky. So that little instrument there is a mandolin. And this house, when I saw there was a historic home in Kentucky, of course, we all want to stitch all the red houses, right? This is the historic Mary Todd home. So Lincoln's wife, her father purchased this home, and she lived in it before she married Lincoln. I think there was some purpose behind hoping that she and her husband would live in it someday. And I think they did part of their married life with their children. Anyway, it's still there. You can still go visit it. It's a beautiful little home. But yeah, so my son plays mandolin, plays bluegrass, did a bluegrass club in high school, and then went and served in Kentucky. It's kind of like wrapped up a little chapter, right, for him. Super fun.
Yep.
All right, so that's those.
Those are cute.
Oh, do you want to see the finishes? And I know you guys like to see what fabric I put on the back. Diana, New York. Ohio, and yes, I fixed the stitch. It was not hard. I mean, no, I should say it was tricky. Have you ever gone back and fixed it?
I have not.
While it's a pillow.
Where'd you tie that?
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
I
look
came
at
in
that.
through the back. You can kind of see a little bit of a knot right there because you don't want, once it's poofy and that stitch could come loose. So I did a quilter's knot to go in because that's the kind that you can manipulate through fabric. And then I tied it off. And the, oh, did I show you the back? Sorry, fabric. North Carolina. And Kentucky. And notice Kentucky also has some bluegrass grass. Why was bluegrass seed or grass named Kentucky bluegrass? Because bluegrass, Kentucky, it all kind of goes together, but also kind of has a blue color to it. And just the word bluegrass. So that's how the grass got named. And you just straight stitch those. Okay, Amy, here's a question for you. In some patterns, like cross stitch patterns, it will say, do these lines backstitch. But sometimes it says straight stitch. So what's the difference between back stitch and straight stitch?
Usually a back stitch is equally spaced and the straight stitch can become longer.
So like when you take a jab.
Yeah. So a straight stitch can be, it can be at an angle or it can be, and a back stitch usually goes in a line.
And it can curve a little bit, but you're trying to make those stitches the same. So in cross stitch, would it be, I guess if you're going from stitch to stitch, making a straight line, that's considered back stitch.
Yes.
But if you throw in like a diagonal that goes up 4 and over 1, it would be a straight stitch. And sometimes we see both in like trying to trail the thread coming out of a bird's mouth or something.
Yeah. Or a little vine, you want to curve it, but you're still going from your holes in your linen, you're still sticking to the holes, so yeah.
So it's kind of a combo stitch effect.
And there's really probably no right and wrong of which it's called.
Right, especially in cross stitch.
Yeah,
because
I think that back stitch too describes sew stitching. So you go in and back up in the same stitch, where straight stitches sometimes are stab stitched. So which means you go down and then pull it and then come up and pull your thread.
Yeah.
So back stitch is more of a sew stitching method.
That makes sense. That's a really good description. Okay, so Amy's stuff. Let's get through all of this. Is awesome.
Okay, I did go find my thread drops. I actually have this prepared for a cross stitch. And so these are the cute little thread drops. They come in sets of 6. Whoops. Here we go. There we go. Anyway, there's just little critters and woodsy stuff. And so there's 6 in one set and 6 in another set.
Do they come with this little sticker on the back?
They come with stickers that you put on, and you can, they come with stickers.
Do they come off fairly easy? Like if you want to change the thread?
I can get you more stickers. Or you could write in pencil. They don't seem to peel off easily. I mean, I'm sure I can get it off.
Well, you could just peel, and then put a new one back on.
And then put another one over it, or peel it off. Yeah. So anyway, this is kind of my love is little critters and woodsy stuff. So anyway, there's 12 different little designs, 2 sets of 6 each. And so those are on my website, and they're kind of fun. Those are called the thread drops.
They're so cute.
Yeah. I love them.
Hear that noise they make. I love that. With my milk caps, they kind of do that too, and it's just part of the fun of the project.
So, and I'll show you.
What? Sweet potato. Weeks Dyeworks sweet potato is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I love thread.
I do too.
I have lots. So I did do an exclusive pattern at Market, but now that the time has elapsed, we can get these for sale. So this is a pattern called the Littles, And there's actually 4. I only have 3 of the 4 little thread keeps, needle keeps.
And is this a kit or a pattern?
We sell the kits separately, so you can get the bunny kit by itself, or the pattern comes with all 4. And the sheep is the one that I'm missing. And so he's cute. He's cute. Anyway, I love them. I think that they're super fun, but they're very simple. And so they just have one little place to store your needles.
So a piece of wool comes
Yep,
with
a piece
the kit.
of wool comes with the kit. And then we even throw in the beads. And there will be a tutorial. There is a tutorial. Because by the time you post this, there will be.
Yes. Okay, awesome.
On how to do this little beaded edge, which is super fun. And you can use 1 strand of embroidery floss, or you can use, what is that French thread? The silk?
Oh, a Versoix.
Yeah, a Versoix.
103. That would work good.
Yeah, because it's super strong and it goes through the beads, and you can use a needle that, will go through the bead.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, these are size 10 beads, and I just love the little finish of the edge, the little beads. They look like little marching soldiers right there.
Me too.
They're so cute.
They're
anyway, so you get 4 patterns in the pattern for all 4 little things, and then the kits are sold separately. So that was kind of a fun one. And then, do you want this or this?
I love that.
Should we do this first?
Let's do this one first, because you did that first.
All right. So this one is called the Sampler Book of Embroidery Stitches. And this is the front cover, and it's got another beaded edge. This one was blanket stitched, and then, with beading. And then you open it up, and it tells you what the book is about. And then
I'm going to get
this is the block of the month. This is the block of the month. And so every month you would get a layout of 2 of the pages, and you get all the threads, and you learn how to stitch. And the best thing about this is that the stitches are named, but then there's dots that are printed on this lovely linen, and so you know where to stitch. And so they end up being nice and straight, and a beginner can do this. And you will learn throughout the year a ton of different stitches, and you'll also experience tons of different threads. So that's called the Sampler Book of Embroidery Stitches.
And it's so cute.
It's super cute. It's kind of like the book that I want to sit down and just use as my quiet book. I want to just look at it and touch it and feel it. And anyway.
Right, I think it's textural, so it's almost like one of those.
Yeah, and there's some turkey work, and so it's kind of puffy.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, but you learn a lot, and then there's online tutorials to go with it, so that's kind of fun. And then you label your back. This is actually my daughter's, and yeah.
I was just thinking about this beaded edge. I think this is protective. It's going to keep the book from wearing out the edges and stuff.
Yeah. It's fun.
Really cool.
I like beading. So anyway, so that's the Sampler Book of Embroidery Stitches. And then the question that I get asked most is, how do I know what needle to use? Yes. And so I made this up as a needle book. And so the first page tells you all about the needles, the parts of the needle, and the sizing of the needles. And then the next page has chenille needles and everything that you need to know about them, the characteristics of that needle. And these are my 4 favorite needles for hand stitching. And so there's milliner, there's chenille, milliner, embroidery, embroidery or crewel, and what's that last one? Tapestry. And so I just, and then there's an odds and ends page so that you can put pins or darners or really long bullion needles. So anyway, this was a fun project that it comes in the pattern. It comes with the printed linen. So you get the cover and then your 4 or 5 little pieces that you stitch on. And then we sell a finishing kit if you're interested in that.
I was going to say, the coolest, one of the coolest parts about this little book is all the instructions are in the pattern. Is that right? But some of the tutorials from this would probably help with some of this. Maybe just, but it's such a little amount, but it does have like.
Yeah.
Do you, should we show them that right-handed, I should have gotten that out, book?
Oh,
or
I
do
do
you
love that
like
book.
your tutorials? Your tutorials are more like, watch me do this.
Yeah.
Where the
It's only my hands, which makes me feel really comfortable because it's only my hands. Even though I'm old and I have old hands, that's okay.
all are.
I had one lady once to say, I so appreciate your videos. You don't do your nails. And I thought, okay, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Anyway, I definitely use my hands a lot.
Yes.
And so,
It's the best way.
yeah, it is.
That's how we learn.
But I learn by watching better than reading. And so, but the Right-Handed Embroiderer's book is a fantastic stitch book if you need a visual referral.
Yes. And like a quick, verbal instruction, even though sometimes it takes 2 or 3
So
readings,
these videos for the stitch book are all password protected.
Okay.
Because this is a block of the month and you pay for those videos, you know.
So when they sign up to do this, they get that code to watch the tutorials.
Yeah. It comes with your first kit.
Cool.
But there also are free tutorials on my website that I
Okay.
do a lot of free stitch tutorials. So.
Totally worth it. When I was quilting, I'm just going to plug Amy's patterns and stuff right now. I remember when I was quilting. And these, and I'll get back to that, are perks of going to her Needles and Knot retreats.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that are classes, and you get the.
I introduced this one at a retreat, and then, this
Which
was
I
a
was
class
at.
last year.
Yeah, and I didn't go.
And
to
this
the
is
class,
all thanks
but-
to a customer who said, why don't you do a needle book? She had been doing my stitch book, and she's like, I can't keep track of my needles. I don't know what needle to use. And so that's why I designed this.
Like what's what?
Yep. It's all because of one of my good stitchers.
Which is priceless.
Yep.
To have all of that information and then a place to put them. So Amy's patterns, back when she was owner of American Quilting and I was quilting too. And I know we all have that same frustration, and we're pattern makers. Like So your instructions need to be good, and your measurements and everything have to be, I hate using the word perfect, but when you're quilting, the measurements have to be on. They have to be correct. And Amy's a very, very, very good at
I've made
pattern
mistakes.
maker.
I've definitely made mistakes.
Well, compared to some, Amy's a pro. She cares. She cares if they're right. So, and we all make mistakes. I mean, how many corrections? Every cross stitch designer I know has a tab on their website for corrections.
Yeah, I probably need to add one of those.
It's kind of nice. Yeah,
I've heard of a few lately.
Yeah,
that are super old patterns. My old ones were, of course, when I was learning.
Yeah, because we all have a learning.
I had somebody come to me once and say, assume that no one knows anything when they're reading your pattern. And so that's why I try and write everything that you need to know. So
she's good.
There are
Her
a lot
patterns
of words.
are worth
There's
it.
a lot of words you do have to kind of read.
Yeah.
There's illustrations, but you kind of have to read too.
But yours are so easy to understand. I don't know what it's because sometimes when even when you're writing an email to someone, it's good to have somebody else read it too and say, like, does this make sense to you? Because you might want to change a couple words. And that's what your patterns are so good about.
Good, because, I don't know. Thank you.
Because you can,
it's not fun to write patterns. You know that.
No, it's not.
It isn't. That's the worst part. You make this cute thing and you love it, and then all of a sudden you have to write the pattern.
Because everybody wants to share in the cuteness.
Right.
So.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, well, this has been really fun, and it actually took up, what are we
lot
at?
of time.
52 minutes. And I said, 15, 20 minutes, we'll be through.
You can edit.
I don't edit that much. So this is probably going to be its own video. That's what I'm thinking. And then I'll do a separate video that is market haul. And I'll talk about what I brought home cross-stitch wise from market. that are just, I can't even say they're my favorites, what I brought back. They're because I was
They're the ones that spoke to you that day.
Yeah, and I was very limited on how many people I could visit. Like, I didn't probably get to half the shops I wanted to. I wish I could go to every single shop just to see what's out there, just to see the variety and the talent of so many people. So
there's so many creative people.
Yeah. So I'll just be showing what I brought back, what I wanted in my library, plus what I put on my website to share with everyone.
Yeah.
Just in case you don't have the patterns yet that you wanted, which I'm pretty sure you do. Well, thanks, Amy.
We're collectors.
I know we are, right?
Yeah.
It's a collection of awesomeness.
Thanks, Lori. That was fun.
Thanks for coming.
Even though I was uncomfortable, but that's okay.
It's always what it is. But it's what's so fun about this and having a visitor too. Our guest is, it's just like we're hanging out, and the people who watch it are just hanging out with us while they're watching it. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us today.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, Flosstube. See you next time. Okay, I'm going to do, this is just an add-on video to my video with Amy, where we talked about our market stuff. It's attached here. And I'm going to make this really quick because in the meantime, between the time Amy wanted to fix some stuff on her website and me needing to hurry up and design some more state charts for April, which it's about a couple days after April, but got them done. And yeah, it's just been super busy. I'm super grateful for the work I've had to do and people I've gotten to meet from market. I am still going to do another market video that is just what I brought back from market, and that'll be in a week or two after I post this one. But to show you the new states really quick, then I'm going to show you a teeny bit of projects I'm working on, teeny bit of haul, teeny bit of what other things are on my website that I think are super cute. And we'll get this wrapped up here quickly. All right, so 5 more states. And yes, the smile is a smile of joy. I really love working on these. I've had so much fun talking to shop owners about them who are really enjoying them. Their customers are enjoying them. The information is enjoyable. I mean, it's just stuff you may have never heard of before with these states. So next, here comes Rhode Island. There's the Rhode Island pillow. Rhode Island is named after a Greek island named Rhodes. And yeah, this is a Greek key, just in reference to that. It's the 13th state, so this is the last state that you're going to see with this 13 colony flag, showing that it's a 13 colony state. Let's see, its state tree is the red maple. It's wonderful. One word, little word like little state Rhode Island is hope. That's its state motto. And that's what I put on the back. Cute little fabric. Let's see, next is Missouri. We got Missouri all done. Sorry, I'm just flattening these out so you can see all the info on them. Best thing about sawdust is how flat you can make your pillows. And yes, I'm continuing to stuff them with sawdust. All right, so Missouri, 24th state, and in the chart you'll read a little bit more about Mark Twain. Samuel Clemens, I believe was his real name. A little bit of history on him, some fun fact in there. And then we've got the St. Louis Arch, which is the tallest monument in the United States, in America. And it's basically to mark the gateway to the West. So fun Missouri stuff. Let's see, then what was next? I think it was Vermont. Yeah. Oh, Vermont was really fun. They're all fun, but I just, go back and have fond memories when I talk about them again. Vermont was the 14th state. Vermont is 2 French words mixed together, verd and mont, which means green mountain. So if you've ever been to Vermont, it's very mountainy, thus the skiing. So kind of like in, I think it's White Christmas, they go to Vermont and ski for Christmas, and that's just kind of it's a place where back east a lot of people will go skiing, and now snowboarding. So that's very significant. The snowflakes are significant in that I did 1, 2, 3, 4 different big snowflakes to resemble, I don't know if you've read the book Snowflake Bentley. It talks about William Bentley, I believe is his name. It says it in the chart, who just really started to discover that no snowflake was the same. So if you don't have that children's book, I highly recommend it. I just ordered one from Amazon. I had one when my kids were little, but we lost it in a flood in Louisiana, with a lot of other books, but that was one of them I definitely wanted to replace. Vermont is also the maple capital of our country. For such a little state, also, it produces more maple syrup than any other state in America. And its state flower is the red clover. So that's what this clover, little red flowers is down here. Oh, love this. Oh, and this chart has a bonus. There's going to be a piece of real maple hardtack candy inside from Maple City Candy Company. And their info for ordering stuff is in there. Oh, and I'm going to talk about them really quick because I want to show you some of the products I got. So we'll come right back to this after I finish Oregon and Tennessee. And yeah, I'll get up and go grab it. Oh, next, Oregon. So Oregon's known for its state fish, which is the king salmon, I believe, that swims up the Columbia River every year to lay eggs and reproduce. That's why there's a place called Salmon, Idaho, because that's right off the Columbia, and they get a ton of salmon up there, and wonderful fishing goes on up there. My mom and dad used to go stay up on the Salmon River in a trailer with their truck and fish for like 2 weeks every October, because that's when the good fishing happens up there. Anyway, via Oregon, Columbia River, here they come. All right, so Oregon's the 33rd state. Its state tree is the Douglas fir, which Oregon produces more Christmas trees than any other state in our country, and have quite a bit of property where they produce them. And I'm pretty sure, like last year, they had some trouble with that, with all the fires that have been going on over the last couple of years. Down here, these are little mushrooms that grow underneath all the trees in Oregon. There happens to be a mushroom. I think it's called the honey something mushroom. And it is like one species, one plant or growth of mushrooms. It's the largest fungus organism in the world in Oregon. So had to put mushrooms here. I believe there's a lot of foraging that goes on in Oregon too, looking for mushrooms. That's just the right conditions. So, how cute is that? Fish, trees, and mushrooms. There's more facts also inside the state chart to tell you more about each one of these. It's not just what I put on here. I mean, it tells you why what's on here is on here, but there's also more interesting facts inside the chart. Okay, Tennessee. Melissa, it's done. I've got to text her today or let her know, send her a message and let her know it's going to be available. You can get these on my website, but there's a lot of local needlework shops now that are carrying these. In particular, I want to just do a shout out to 3 that have been reordering from me because they're selling them to you customers. Dying to Stitch, and Dying to Stitch is making a big wood feather tree. Like, you have got to go see it. Pat is making the ornaments as fast as she can, and they're going to have quite a neat little display in their window with all 50 states eventually. So you can get them from them too. Pat Young at Stitches Unlimited has them all up in Pennsylvania, and another cute store called Little oh man, I knew I was gonna forget this. It's Crystal Morelli, Little Primitive Stitches, I believe. in Ellison or Elysian, Pennsylvania also is carrying all of them. So here's the goods on Tennessee. It's called the Volunteer State because during the Revolutionary War or Civil War, can't remember which one, it's in the chart, Tennessee had more volunteers to go fight than any other state at that time. They also, during the Gulf War, had more military volunteers from their state. They're just known. They're known for being people who will help out, especially during such a horrible time as a war. It's the 16th state, and that horse right there, I did my best. I did kind of look at some other horses here and there to see how to make that look like a horse, but Shelby County in Tennessee has more horses per capita, so percentages of humans to horses in it than any other county in the country. So I had to put a horse on there. Could have also put a turtle. You'll have to read the chart to see why. I encourage you to try to find a turtle and do one over one somewhere on here if you want to. And you'll read the chart and find out why. This little sewing machine, of course, is for the Singer Sewing Machine Company. There's an actress named Polly Bergen. She was the first female to sit on the board at the Singer Sewing Machine Company, and she was born in Tennessee. So there you go. Oh, and there's the back of that one. I keep forgetting to show you. I showed you the gold. Missouri. I love these big florals on the back of these teeny tiny pillows. That's Oregon. Yeah. All right, hold please. I'm going to go get that Vermont stuff to talk about. Okay, so when I was doing my research on Vermont, it was talking about maple and all the maple that this company this state produces. Up came the first, research click was this Maple City Candy Company. So I got looking through their stuff, and I thought, oh man, that'd be so cute if you could taste some maple when you're stitching your Vermont maple chart. So I did order from them because they happen to have little hard candy maple. And it's good. I did try one. It's very tasty. So this will come in your chart. They also sent me like a half-pound free and their information just because I was including it and going to share it all with you. And here's their business card. Their website is on the chart. Why am I sharing this with you though? Seriously, I'm promoting them so much because I ordered a few other things that are to die for, okay? So my husband and I tried this. They're maple popcorn. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but out here in the West, we have maple bars. So it's like a Long John donut with maple frosting on it. It's my favorite. Pretty sure a lot of people really love maple frosting. You just put maple flavoring in regular buttercream frosting, and it makes your maple flavored frosting so good. Well, here's something that tastes just like the maple frosting. You can see how big this is compared to my hand. A really nice little gift if you want to give someone, more than one bite of candy. These are what are called, they're soft maple candies. They're kind of like eating a harder version of a maple frosting, but it melts in your mouth, and it is the yummiest maple thing I've ever eaten, ever tasted. So, so good. Now, I'm going to give a couple of those away. Oh, and I'm going to add another video here at the end with the giveaways from last video, plus some more, but this will be included. So will a set of charts with a maple candy for next time. And this was another really, really sweet gift. If you want to give someone who wants to, go slow and eat some maple candy over time, right? So a piece a day, if you can control yourself. This is a nice little gift. That is a very tiny little piece of the soft maple candy that melts in your mouth. And oh my goodness, my husband and I can hardly contain ourselves. And we did eat already a whole bag of the popcorn. It was so delicious. So here is another, though, like, beautiful gift. I got this because I just wanted the maple glass. So you can get, I think, 3 different grades, 3 different sizes of maple syrup. And this is the beautiful glass jar it comes in. Great Christmas gifts. Wonderful Christmas gifts. And they also have plastic bottles if you don't want the glass one. I could see, you know, saving this for fall decor. You could have a lot of fun with that, even after you eat the syrup. Yum. Yum and delicious. So that's Vermont. Maple City Candy Company. All right. Sorry for the noise on that, but I just had to share it with you because I really think you'll enjoy it. And it might help their little shop out just a ton. You know, after COVID, everybody's still working it out, I'm sure. All right. Next, I'm going to talk about 2 items in my shop that I brought back from market that are, oh, I have a hard time saying my favorites, but man, are they giving me some delight. And this one, some people have talked about it like it's a little pricey. Mine comes kitted from Stacy Nash with threads, the linen, and because it's over $100, that's retail price. You get free shipping. Okay, so it's not a bad way to go. And it's this little sparrow exclusive. I only have a few of these left on my website. Sweetest thing though, and it is a finish. I did finish this month. So you get this box that her mom finished. You get 2 waxers to sit in the tailor her daughter made. And I've got a card here that has all the kitted threads, plus the called for linen, which is Barb's Blend, 36 count. I am including enough thread, enough floss, for those of you who want to stitch 2 over 2. So 2 threads over 2 linen threads. Just in case, I know there's just a difference in preference. So I wanted to make sure you had enough if you were going to do it that way. So there's plenty for the 2 or the 1. Now, this little companion piece, a friend of mine was really loving this, and I think it's darling. So you just buy some DMC floss and wrap it around this bunny's belly and put it in your bowls. It's a great little bowl filler. I've had a lot of fun with different wax products lately, but this is one of my favorites. Have a few of those left on my website too. And here's the finish. Here's what it looks like. So in the kit comes this ribbon on the, waste not, right? Don't waste the ribbon. So I sprayed it with a little teeny bit of mist. So I buy that Best Press in the gallon, and then I have that mister that you can buy on Amazon to lightly mist your finishes, which I did not use on this one. I was in a hurry, and you can see that it bled just a little bit, but I'm not letting it bug me. But get the mister for that so you can starch your pillows a little bit before you stuff them. Anyway, I threw some on this ribbon, put it under my iron, and for just a real fast, quick second. And there's a companion little piece of scissors or ribbon for your scissors. I have mine sitting in this little heart bowl. There go the scissors. But it's the perfect little spot for this little teeny awesome hat box. Now, I think this would take some time. You've got glue. You've got to cut the paper the right size, glue them on. And she has sanded them wonderfully so that they're very, very antiqued. Oh, and they're just beautiful. And yeah, I got this red pin at Shepherd's Bush the other day, so it's sitting here with my bird. Can you see the stitches? And no lie, I stayed up kind of late, almost finishing this one night. I finished the rest of the bird the next morning because I couldn't keep my eyes open. But once you start it, oh, it's a quick finish. What a cute gift for a friend. If you had to do a gift, this would be a great one. Great one to do. So yeah, those, once they're gone, they're gone. But I do have a few left. Very few. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about that really quick. Now, okay, I went into Shepherd's Bush the other day to pick up a couple threads, and this is one of their items from Market. And oh my goodness, it's cute. It's called, let's see, To Be Free. And it comes kitted. Threads, linen, they always put a needle, and the buttons, and the linen. How adorable is that? They always have some cute little sheep. Oh, and it says To Be Free. This is probably one of my favorite, one of their charts I've ever seen. Oh, so that's all the haul I'm going to talk about on that. Here's some finishes. Obviously, my states were finished. Sorry. It takes a while to finish some stuff. So I usually have some other smalls I finished every month, and I throw them in with the states and have a finishing night right here on this chair because my TV's right there. I'm going to talk about this little lamp too here in a second. Okay, so this is from Samplers and Santas. While you're looking at it, I'm just going to make sure I'm right. Yep. Samplers and Santas. I was totally influenced by Daisy K. So she's Daisy K Primitives, Christy Green. She had done some red bowl fillers. So I had to do this one. It does have some 16, what do they call it? 16 count eyelets. And they make this piece. Like, it's really impressive. I think I used Indian Summer as my red thread, but those, oh, totally worth it. And this is on 40 count. I think it's Winter's Brew by R&R. Hi, Pat. Hi, Anne. And that's how big it is. Fits in the palm of your hand. What did I put on the back? Black fabric. All right, so I decided I'd do another one because Christy did. And I love red work. Littles. Okay, here's the other one. I altered this just a little bit because I can't remember why. But I changed this little border or this line of stitching across there to match this one. I just turned it the other direction. And it says she seeks his will for her life and follows his ways. Now, here's the fabric I put on the back. I decided to try the Eyelash chenille from Lois at Lois.creates. Got a little piece of it a couple months ago. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's thin, it's small, it's not fluffy. So they usually do 2 strands of it, wind it together, and then they'll glue or stick it or sew it on. But I tried one on this, and because it's a primitive finish, I love one strand. Look at that. You can see it's the tea stained. I think this is called the vintage. It might be dirty something. I can't remember which one, but it's one of those that has the dyes on it. And yes, I can squish it because sawdust. Oh, okay, so that's 2 of those. Here's a spring and a summer finish. So I think I showed you these not long ago. I did autumn and winter from the Stitcherhood. I showed one at Christmas time, I believe, with some finishes in that video with my daughter Phoebe. Now these are freebies from thestitcherhood.com. She does spring, summer, autumn, winter, and they're darling. So here's here's spring first. And I think I did these on even weave, 32 count even weave that I got from Hobby Lobby. It's like the tan. Oh, I can't remember. And it was before COVID, so I don't know if they still have these or carrying, but they might be getting them back in. So cute thing here, so if you pull this lace down just a little bit, you can see I just covered the stitches a little bit. My friend Kim from years and years ago picked this up for me when she was in New York City. She used to work for Making Memories, and she would get sent on these idea trips, like go get ideas, go to the New York, you know, fiber markets, and you know, come back with old stuff that we can now reproduce for scrapbook product. So she picked me up a couple ribbons, actually a few, but this was one of them. And doesn't that just go perfect? I used the called for threads that Stitcher had said to use on this. And my ribbon just happened to work perfect. You can kind of see how it's a little dirty. But look how gorgeous that is. And I sewed it on across here and across here before I did the final finish. And then I put this green rickrack on it. And from what I can tell, I haven't done extensive research, but I think the way that Brenda Gervais puts her rickrack on is by sewing over each section so you can kind of see where I've sewn. I glue it first, just a teeny tiny thread of glue down the center on this one. I've done other ones where I glue every single bump down, right? But this one, if I remember, I may have watched a video of her showing this or a story. I don't know. I can't remember. And then I just got looking at it really close. You can see right now I'm just pulling these up and making them pop. I think this is how she does it. I wish I could reference better for you, but I'm just using my memory today. And that's how those stand up and pop. And there's the back fabric. So, free chart. DMC. Hobby Lobby. Linen. Not a bad way to go. You can see how big that one is. It's going to sit so cute in the bowls. Okay, so then the last finish I have is the summer version. So Stitcherhood summer chart. And by the way, these stitch up super fast, especially on this 32 count even weave, because you can, I can anyway, stitch really fast on these because they're just bigger. You can see the holes. Another ribbon from, I think from Kim. And okay, so I knew I had seen something like this somewhere, and I figured out where it was this morning. Christy at Finally a Farm Girl showed a Christmas finish where she had done a bow on the back of a pillow. I think it was going this way, and she tied a bow. And she had just stitched it by hand at the seam. Well, I got going back to my decorator, dressmaking days. When you sew a waist bow that goes around like a baby's dress or a little girl's dress, you can sew the ribbon or the ties into the seam. So that's what I did. I just marked it, bunched these up when I sewed around the edge and caught this in the seam and then tied a bow after. I thought that was a pretty cute finish. And then I watched Finally a Farm Girl again this morning. I was able to find it to see where she had done this on the back of one of her Christmas ornaments, which was adorable. So yeah, there's summer. And I used this again. That to me, that just says summer. I think I used that on my Jelly Bean Jubilee pillows. One of them. So yeah, try sewing a bow in the seam and then tie it afterwards. Okay, what have I been working on? Two things I'm kind of completely obsessed with. Oh, sorry, real quick. Stitcherhood also has this really cute little leaf. I'm stitching that up. I don't know, I might use it as a fob, but I also might just put some pom-poms around it and throw it into the bowl for a bowl filler for summer too. So she's got more than that of freebies. Just check them all out. The other thing I did finish, where's this sitting at? I'll show it next time after I get it framed, but it's the Easter bonnet. In Your Easter Bonnet by Shepherd's Bush. You had to buy the Easter bonnet button, which is actually the bonnet for the sheep, and then you got the chart free. So because there's a purchase involved, I can't show you a finish of it, but if you want to go check it out, just go to their blog, the Shepherd's Bush blog, and search for In Your Easter Bonnet, and this finish will come up. They've got it framed. They also had it made into a pin pillow, and you have to use the called for linen or the bonnet's too big. But this was my Easter Day weekend stitch, and it turned out adorable. I'll show it next time. Highly recommend it though, it's way cute. All right, 2 things I'm obsessed with that I've been working on. Let me just show you the threads first. And I believe I kitted this a couple months ago, but then I went and watched Emily C, and I think she showed that she kitted it with the exact same linen that I had just bought. And I am over the moon about this color linen. So some of you will be able to tell which one this is. And yeah, Shepherd's Bush always ties their packages with ribbon, and I just keep it and tie it on my ring of milked threads. So there they are, all those beautiful, bright, gorgeous colors. I fell in love with them so fast. I mean, I fell in love with the chart, but once I got the colors, I was like, oh wow, look at those. I mean, even this purple thrown in here is really, really yummy. And the orange, I'm not a huge orange person, but guys, I'm going to talk about orange sometime and some other colors, because I have the Tula Pink Orange book where she writes about, gives a definition for each color. If you don't have that book, you should get it. It helps you understand people in your life too who like certain colors. It's kind of a personality helper, right? At least it's proven to be true for all the people in my life who like certain colors, and it talks about them in her book, and it's beautiful. Anyway, here we go. Floral motif sampler by the Scarlet House, and this is on 40 count old stationery by Seraphim, and I'm pretty sure that's what Emily C's doing hers on too. Make sure you can see what I'm showing you. How's that looking? Can't put it down. So yeah, that's what I'm obsessed with. The other one is I'm doing except I didn't get to work on it yesterday. Can't even tell you why, but I'm doing the Sunday stitch for Consider the Lilies. I remember when I bought this a couple years ago, and I was just like, oh, I have to do it, but wow, I hope I can do it. But making it my Sunday stitch, not that I don't stitch other things on Sunday, but I have to pull this one out, right, and work on it. Look how much I've gotten done. All I had for the longest time was that fruit bowl and a little bit of the border, and it's just making me finish a motif or 2 every Sunday, and I love it. It's motivating me. It's really motivating me to have it as my Sunday stitch. At first, when I heard about BenQ, and that was on 36 count Winter's Brew, I believe, by R&R. When I heard about BenQ the first time, I was like, oh, I could never have something tell me what to stitch. I'm still not that personality. I just want to stitch what I want to. I want to thumb through my stuff, stitch what I feel like. But it's working for me to have a Sunday stitch to get Consider the Lilies done. I think I'm going to throw in there also my A Savior's Praise. I'm probably getting to be about halfway done on that one, and I'll show it next time. But that'd be a great way to get that one done too. All right, so cute girl at Quaint Rose Needle Arts showed this cute chart a month or 2 ago, And Celeste Creates has been stitching it, or did. Kay Goldman has. And I decided I needed a footstool under my feet in this chair because it doesn't recline. There's nothing to put my feet up. And if you're a stitcher, you got to put your feet up, at least to take some pressure off your lower back. And where's the picture of it? Okay. Oh, please, while I pull this picture out. I know y'all know exactly which one I'm talking about. It's this guy. Mary Amelia's bird. So I decided I'm going to do it with DMC and Weeks Dye Works Pearl Cotton number 5 on 10 count Flosstube. So here's what I've stitched so far on that. Just wanted to show you my progress and say how much I'm loving it. So that's just the bottom of the bird and a couple leaves. But I'm really liking it. It stitches super fast. Yes, I did thread milk on my pearl cottons from that. I made them 24 inches long. My husband just went and cut a piece of my thread milk floss gauge material 12 inches instead of the 9. And because you can do longer strands of this before it starts to wear out and it doesn't get twisted. It's quite delightful. Quite delightful. So here's all the colors for that. I did change a couple of them out. I did add a couple Weeks Dye Works. You can tell which ones are the DMC because they're fatter. There's more on them. And here's the Weeks Dye Works ones. So the blues are a little bit more subdued, and that green. Then the called for DMC, but it doesn't matter. Use the DMC. It's such a watercolor effect that it's really beautiful once you get stitching on it and mixing all those colors together. I think that's it. So I'm going to say goodbye and happy stitching. And I'll probably film. You can look for another video in about a week or two. Don't hold me to that. Because I am so busy with my state charts. And I've got a new Liberty Lodge for the Bowl series coming out in the next couple weeks, plus 5 more state charts I've got to do by the end of May. So I'm going to be really busy, but I'm going to try to throw in my market haul. But mostly what I brought back that I also have on my website. If you're looking for anything for market you can't find, I do have a few under my Market Finds tab that were just favorites because they're the only ones I got to visit at market. But I'll talk to you about that soon. Happy stitching, everyone. Oh, BenQ. Wow. So BenQ reached out to me. And I know you've seen this table lamp, right? That's has a base right here, and you can put it over your stitching. Let's scoot this over just a little bit. Of course, that made it unplug from the wall. Hold on. There we go. So you can see it's on. Well, when they reached out to me, they wanted to know if they could send me a table lamp. Well, I have plenty of table lamps, like for when I go to retreat and I need to set up a magnifier table lamp, whatever. I've got one. Got a couple. I've got some clamp-on lights that I use on a tray in bed. I've got... I just said I don't need the table lamp. I don't want you to waste your time with that. And they said, well, okay, but how about a floor lamp? I said, I definitely need a floor lamp because I don't have anything super bright right here at night when I'm stitching. And my husband put it together for me. So if you have the tabletop version, there's an extra piece you can buy that is the floor lamp extension. And I'd tilt my camera for you, but well, let me try this way. I just feel like it's gonna fall off. So here's what the base looks like. My only complaint about this, because it's working really, really well, is I just wish the cord was a little bit longer. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna have to put an extension light on it. But here's a really cool thing. So see these little features up here? This silver ring is a touch on, touch off, touch on. Then there's a dimmer switch dial right here that makes it super bright, dims it. But then the center of this, if you push it, it makes it warm light versus cool light. So now I've got warm light. See how that turned yellow? So when you're stitching along and it's nighttime, I mean, see how warm that makes everything? My dress is same color as my linen. Isn't that fun? Or, okay, so while I'm holding this up, let's click. And now the light's a lot cooler. See if I click it again. And the dim I really like because the dim gets quite light. Okay, there's cool. See how that went totally white, cool light? Yeah, and you know, the features of where to turn it, how to turn it up so it's not in my husband's eyes because he sits right over there when we do get to sit and watch TV. It's not very often, or I should say it's not often enough. Anyway, check it out. I'm going to have a link below for the BenQ lamp and the floor extension that you can go check out by them. And thank you, BenQ. Thank you so much for sending me a light to try. I love it. I am so enjoying it. Helps me stitch at night. All right, Flosstube, time to cut this short. So hope you enjoyed that video with Amy that I promised you from so long ago. And hope you enjoy your stitches. And enjoy the weather getting warmer. Hopefully soon. Thanks, Flosstube. Bye-bye. Okay, this is a quick add-on here at the end. I promised you guys the giveaways. My husband and I went out for dinner and a movie and took a little break from working. Now I'll do the giveaways. I also have new giveaways for next time. And because some of you asked in the comments or said something nice about my daughter Phoebe going on her trip to Paris, I thought I'd show you what she brought me back. In case you go there someday, you might want to check out this cute little shop. She had a blast, by the way. She visited my husband's aunt, who is Aunt Shauna, over there in Paris, and they hung out with her for a little bit. And that would be Phoebe's great aunt. And they had a wonderful time. Mostly, she said, because Aunt Shauna talked a lot about Phoebe's grandparents, who would be Aunt Shauna's sister, my husband's mom. So lots of reminiscing and stories Phoebe had never heard. Okay, so this shop, look at, see if I can get it to focus for you. Looks like it is. Look at all these weird little things. So this was the shop she went to and picked me up some stuff. I'm looking at the info. Tombs du Comion. Is that how you say it, hon?
Oh, I have no idea.
I have. Chris is right over there. Do you know French?
No.
A little bit because of your
how to pronounce it.
Portuguese. Okay, well, this is it. This is the information. If you want to just go find a whole bunch of random, weird but cool stuff. And here's what she brought me back. This cute little bag. Oh, I just dropped two teeny tiny little things. Sorry, Phoebes. Oh, I'll find it. Anyway, one of them was this little teeny tiny bell that I'm probably going to put on some awesome French finery. Maybe I'll make some extras for the website. Anyway, here are some button cards. Little old vintage buttons. White buttons are the best, aren't they? Although I did pick up some black ones. I'll share them in the next video. Bags full of antique vintage black buttons that I picked up at an antique store in Lafayette, Louisiana. Here's some thread. Isn't that a cute spool? So that'll go in. I told her I'm going to put together a little bowl and stitch something from Paris, like the Eiffel Tower, maybe a word in French, and put all this stuff together with it. It would be so cute. And then she picked me up this little thimble. They got to go to the Eiffel Tower, all kinds of wonderful stuff. It was wonderful. So, because you asked, and she did say she was going to get me some buttons. There they are. There's the fun. And how fun when you go on a trip to set up a little bowl or a basket of cross stitch that resembles that place, plus some little memoirs from that trip. Okay, giveaways. So the giveaway winners from last time, I asked you for 3 words: splendor, days, and bonus. And here are the winners. The splendor winner is Renee Smith. Renee, you will be getting the 6 charts from last time, and that was number 15, Illinois, 16, South Carolina, 17, Louisiana, 18, New Hampshire, and this one upside. Man, my glasses are really too strong for me. 19, Iowa. So that'll be going to Renee Smith. And the Book of Days. So remember how I had 2 Book of Days? One of them's coming by itself to the lucky winner, Susan Lusk. And I'll leave you a reply in the comments on the last Flosstube number 6. So you can email me, send me your address, and I'll get these shipped to you. Okay, then the last one was the bonus package, which was a Book of Days plus 3 charts. And that bonus winner is Jennifer, under the name Joseph McClellan on YouTube. So Renee, Susan, and Jennifer, look for those replies from me in your comment, and we'll get together and I'll send you out those fun giveaways from last video. I really appreciate all of you who viewed my videos and left comments. It makes doing these videos, it takes some time. They make them fun, and it's just fun connecting with all of you stitchers out there. So here's the next giveaway for this time, and the 2 words will be, I'll tell you that in 1 second. So I showed you earlier some candy from the Vermont Pure Maple Candy Company. So one of you will get the next 6 charts that I had ready for market, which are flying charts. Let's see, we've got 20 Virginia, 21 Indiana, 22 is New York, 23 Ohio, and yes, that picture, we have corrected the charts in there, that missing stitch, it's fixed in the PDF. Anyway, error code. Okay, number 24, North Carolina, and Kentucky, number 25. And of course, a maple soft candy. So that word, if you want those charts and the free trial of the yummy creamy candy from Maple City, put in the word maple in your comments. All right, the next second giveaway from this video came from a fellow stitcher and also the woman who worked with JBW Designs at Market. I went in there to see JBW Designs, and Dawn Frisk shared a room with her and took me back to the back of the room and said, pick out whatever you want to stitch, and also other things you like that you could give away to your viewers. There were so many really, really nice designers like that. I'll have more next time in the next video too, of things to share, especially some more from JBW Designs. The Dawn Frisk is a designer under the name The Mindful Needle Designs, and I believe you can find her under that name. Let's see, The Mindful Needle on Instagram. And I chose this one to stitch myself. I'll give it away in a future video. I'll get that stitched up here this summer so that I can share that with you. Love this Liberty design. So cute. And then Dawn, I'm going to give away these others that are super cute. And I might order these another time just because it's hard to give things away always and not stitch them first. But Dawn had these, both JBW Designs and Dawn, I believe the Mindful Needle, had things shown in stitched over 2 linen threads and then over 1 linen thread. So it just made little teeny minis out of all of their designs, and they were gorgeous. They were beautiful. So here's the ones I'm going to do in the giveaway today. Let It Snow. 3 really cute little ornaments, or you could put them in a tart. And this one's really pretty. Maybe by the time my next video comes around, I can stitch this one really quick because I love it. But this will be in the giveaway. The floral tray and scissor fob. The scissor fob is done over 1. You can see that right there. And then the third piece is a Scandinavian Noel. This is darling. This is super cute too. So, so cute. And you can see down here, I think it was done over 1 with white thread on navy or black fabric. Of course, her charts are wonderful. It has all of the materials needed inside. So those 3 charts plus another piece of maple candy. So on this one, if you would like these 3 charts of Dawn's plus a little treat from Maple City, use the word mindful in your comments. So you've got maple for the state charts and mindful for Dawn's, the Mindful Needle charts. And I think that's it. Now I can finally say goodbye. Happy stitching. Enjoy your stitch time, and I'll talk to you soon, hopefully sooner than later. Bye-bye, Flosstube.